Hey class, I'm wanted to just kind of check in as I know we've got the synthesis essay coming up here on November 1st, and I wanted to just make sure that everybody's got a good understanding because I've had some emails that some folks really asked some really good questions. So I wanted to be sure that I've gone over these things. So let me go ahead and do that. Hope you all are doing well. It's been a while since I've checked in on you, but I wanted to just let you know that it feels like things are going pretty well, and those of you that have questions are asking them, and that's really what needs to happen. So it's going great from that standpoint. So one of the questions I'm having is a lot of folks are a little curious about how to guide the paper. What should the thesis be exactly, and how exactly do you relate it to a specific article? Well, so it doesn't necessarily have to be an incredibly profound thesis. A lot of folks have said something along the lines of the Google data grinder is good or bad for society, and that could be something that you delve into a lot, and you use that specific article about the data grinder, and then of course you talk about how it's good or bad for society, and that's what it says. Basically, that it gathers lots of information. The article's in the text, and it says that it can be good for reasons, right? Like we can use it to do certain things for us. Google certainly wants it to be good for us, but then a lot of folks think it's so invasive that they're not sure what they think of it. So it's kind of up to you all how you come up with it. So as far as the thesis goes, it can go either way. You can agree with what the article says, you can disagree with the article says, and then you use some citations from the article. You're actually using two total articles from the back. They're all kind of similar. So if you wanted to say that video games are good for us, you could do that. There's a couple articles, one about the avatars, where the avatars roam and our presence online. Then there's other ones about gaming and how it is replacing the schools and teaching, which, and you're going to have some of your own analysis of this, and you're just going to incorporate what's in the text. And so then it gives you an option in the assignment to use two outside sources. And so that can be something as simple as a fact or a simple statistic that you wanted to add in your conclusion maybe. Or you can do something else to help support it. So I'm kind of okay with however you want to include the outside sources. Just make sure that they're relevant to what you're doing. And so I also want to take a minute just to kind of break down and give you all a closer look at the rubric. So now you'll notice on the rubric that it gives you an idea, wants to know about the intro and the thesis. And that's important because that's the driving force for your whole essay. So make sure that that's good. It asks you about the synthesis. So when I ask you about the synthesis, did you integrate the article well? Are the facts used? Are they put in there properly? Or are they just kind of floating in thin air and not really making sense and relating back to what's happening? Same with the support. The idea is that the detail should give the reader important info that goes beyond the obvious and predictable. So don't just tell me that Facebook's bad because of cyberbullying or that the data grinder is dangerous because it can get so much information. Explain those things in depth, right? Go into the analysis and give articles and things that help support that. Make sure that your evaluation's ready to go because a lot of times the evaluations have not been very good, and I want to make sure that people understand that that's just not, hey, my paper's over. That is, hey, here's the end of my argument. And think of it from the standpoint that if you were in a courtroom, your closing argument is one of the most important things. And some people, in an argumentative essay, they're just not giving any kind of real conclusion. So make sure that's in there. It's an evaluation. Lastly, I updated the rubric here to reflect that it's an APA formatting. And so I want to make sure that you understand it is an APA. There's a section in the text for that. There is if you have the Penguin left from 111, there's a lot in there. And also there are several websites which I've connected you to with the library, with the LibGuides and everything. The library spent a lot of money to make sure you all know how to use APA. And one thing I'll give you as a suggestion is that if you enter the library's website and you go there and then you go to EasyBib and go to APA formatting, then you'll be able to use APA. If you go to APA formatting in EasyBib on your own, you will not because you haven't paid for it. The library paid a bunch of money to give you that option, so make sure you use it. All right, much other than that, just make sure that your length is on point because a lot of times people are a page short and a lot of times it reflects other spots as well, so it's silly to lose double points because of it. But I think that this is something that should help you all. I put a pretty good exemplary in there, and I think that if you give it a check, it might help you some of your understanding. There's a good APA formatted essay in there. The basic difference is that there's a title page. There's also going to be a difference in the internal citations. That's probably the biggest difference. And then there's a couple smaller details that you're going to see different in the works cited page. So make sure you get that straight. And so what I basically want to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and shut her down for the most part. But if there are questions, just keep in mind that I know this is an online class, but I've got office hours this week. I'll be around Thursday and Friday afternoon. You can email me, set something up, come on by, whatever you want to do. Just make sure, the only thing I ask is don't send me a paper and ask me what I think. Send me a paper and say, hey, how's my evaluation look? Or, hey, could you look at my APA format and give me some guidance as to what you're looking for? And I think that's it. So good luck with everything. I hope this is helpful. And if you have any questions, like I said, please, please, please come find me. Signing off.